Hey guys, welcome to a English commentary done by Diggity. This is part of Socal Lan 3. It's going to be on Blue Storm between Deuce and Day9. So Deuce starting in the upper right hand corner in teal, Day9 in the bottom left hand corner in purple. So, and I've got to assume that as a result, blind is blind rather than, so Day9's going by his proper name. Day9, the winner of Socal Lan 2, and pretty good competitor. I don't know much about Deuce, but I'm going to assume that he's a pretty good player in general, just from what Zeus tells me. Anyway, couple side notes. First of all, I've had two big notes. People are like, oh, why aren't you doing any Korean games? Mostly because there's not a lot out right now. Pro League is currently still on hiatus. It'll be starting up in the very near future. MSL's just getting started up. OSL's just getting started up. So most of the commentaries I've been doing have been duels or triples. In fact, that's basically what everybody's been doing at this stage, and those are up on Vile Attack right now. I'm not abandoning Korean videos. They'll be up in as the season progresses. Oh, 7 pool from Day9. Interesting. So it looks like he's going to go for a 7 pool attack. He's not going to be able to really break that front door, would be my guess. If Deuce, I should say, I want to say Deuce. If Deuce spots this out, which looks like he is going to spot it at this stage, but he's going to be able to put pressure, delay that Nexus from going up, maybe be able to sneak some Zerglings by. Basically, with the 7 pool, what happens is, by the time you push up, that first cannon's done, but the second cannon isn't quite warped in by the time your Zerglings are on top of that base. So you're going to have to pull probes off the line. Well, Deuce is going to have to pull probes off the line, first of all. Looks like that probe scout taking a little bit of damage there. But Day9 will be in a better economic position basically, he's going to be able to delay the Nexus and will be in a better economic position than a 5 pool, and he still might have a pretty good shot at taking that front door down, depending on how Deuce reacts. So as you can see, the Zerglings being produced right now, Overlord starting to shift across the field. There's the first cannon, and that's the cannon that will be finished. And the second cannon should be coming shortly. And the question is how many probes does Deuce bring off the line? Usually you need about 4 or 5, and it looks like one of those probes getting killed in the meantime by that trailing Zergling. Anyway, but really fast while these Zerglings are in transition. Also check out scforall.com. I have duels up there with Artosis and the NetHack vids that I did. A lot of the video didn't come out. So here's that first cannon that's going to warp in. Looks like 4 probes off the line from Deuce. He's kind of spreading them out here. Needs to protect, and this is the problem with that cannon, is he wants to protect that, but he also needs to kind of protect the gaps from the Zerglings pushing through. So there's the first cannon. Doesn't look like Day9's going to go for it. Instead, he's going to try to, he threads those Zerglings through, manages to get 2 through while the second cannon comes up. So loses 4. He's got basically 2.5 Zerglings in the base, and careful, going to lose that Overlord. Brings that Overlord back, but in the meantime, he's got these Zerglings that are running around just being annoying. Oh, careful! Oh, manages to sneak them out. Looks like he's going to lose 1 right there. Yeah, loses 1, but he's still got that 1 running around. And as you can see, because of those 6 probes were off the line, that's just going to be an economic delay, continued economic delay for Deuce in the meantime. And it looks like Day9's going to take this opportunity to take his secondary. And sorry about any background noise in the meantime. So Day9, in the meantime, has this Zergling Scout. He can just kind of run it around, be annoying with it, force probes to come off the line, just be a general nuisance with these, especially if you get speed upgrade. And very clever. While he's putting up pressure in the backside of the base, while he has the spot, while he knows that Zealot isn't going to be coming out at him just because of the economic delay he's doing, he's going to immediately go into 3 hatcheries. So this is a really clever build on Day9's part. I really like this. Very, very creative. Getting gas immediately, so he's going to do quick tech as well, so taking a big economic lead, simply because he's going to have those 3 hatchery up before Deuce is really even going to have effectively his second Nexus up. As you can see, that Nexus is very much delayed compared to where it would have been with any other build. And in the meantime, that gateway isn't even up yet because of also, again, the economic damage and things from that end. And that Zergling's still running around getting the scouting information. So gas going down as well. So wow, and Day9 in the meantime looks like this 2 bases are going to be scouted out here. I don't think that 3rd base has been scouted out, but Day9 in a very, very good position, producing Overlords here at this stage, and producing 2 Overlords. So he's going to just go straight economy. As you can see, he doesn't have any larva just sitting idly here in the meantime, except for that one, but that's going to be a drone momentarily as soon as he comes back to look at it. Cybernetics Core going up in the meantime. for Deuce, but Deuce hasn't even transferred probes to his Nexus. He's getting a third cannon up just in case, maybe thinking that he's running into 3-hatch ling or something like that. Can't say we thought that with that extractor going up though. Now teching to layer, but getting a prevention cannon, and he still hasn't transferred the drone. So now he's finally managed to kill that zergling. As you can see, the blood on the ground with that zealot. Cybernetics Crow going up. He's harvested some gas, but finally transferring the probes, and Day already has 3 hatcheries up. So and drones harvesting at each location. So and a couple more zerglings pushing down the field just for scouting, so he knows basically when those ults are coming down. And there's going to be finished momentarily. So Day and this is extremely creative. I like this build a lot, and I mean a lot. Weapons going up in the meantime, and I'm sure everybody watching those was like, "Wow, this is great." So yeah, 4 zerglings coming up in the field, and that's again just to see the zealots should they come across the field. Overlord is still going to be able to spot those zealots on the front lines. And that cannon also a little bit of delay. That's 150 resources that could have been going otherwise. And a Citadel of Adun going down. Interestingly, layers finished in the meantime. It looks like a Spire going up at the third base. A little bit hidden there. So big air attack. And honestly, I think if Day9, he doesn't know this. And unfortunately, I don't see... This is usually at the stage when you want an Overlord, kind of a sacrificial Overlord, kind of scooting into the background to get a spot at what your Protoss opponent's doing. I'm not sure why Day's not doing that. Maybe because he wants to preserve all of his Overlords at this stage. 2 Zealots now pushing down. Day is going to have Zerglings to deal with this. He's also got the speed upgrade to deal with this. But a Citadel of Adun going down rather, and it looks like a speed zealot attack coming from Deuce, rather than the Corsairs from the Stargates, and these Zealots are going to get absolutely worked. Nice little micro there. Step's going to be able to take a few more Zerglings out than... well, no. Able to take out 2 Zerglings and get owned otherwise. Weapons 1 should be finished about the same time that speed leg upgrade is finished. But in the meantime, though, Deuce has no anti-air, and that's going to give Day9 a really big advantage because he is going air, as you can see, and that Spire going to be finished just momentarily. Right there, and he's gonna have to put resources into cannons in the backfield, not static defense rather than active defense. Templar Archives now going up in the background. He'll have an Archon, but you have to keep that Archon escorting the Zealots. That's also going to disrupt the speed Zealot attack. 3 gateways looks like. But yeah, no Corsairs up in the air. And keep in mind that's also going to keep Deuce in the dark. He's not going to have any sort of scouting with that Corsair that basically across the middle of the field. So yeah, Mutalisk attack, a lot of Mutalisks being produced here, and it looks like the Hydro Stun going up along the side. So this isn't going to be a killing blow. Day9 isn't going to completely commit to this attack. If he had, I think he would have ended it right at this stage. Because look at that. It's only 1 cannon going up in the backfield. There are 2 cannons back here. But if Day9 had just pumped a whole bunch of Mutalisks rather than just 6 at this stage, he would end it, and he's still going to be in a very good position. He's still going to be able to do a lot of harassment. There's a lot of area here that's not covered by anything. Looks like, and he's going to have to wait for these High Templar essentially to be produced out in the meantime. Looks like that Zealot speed is finished, waiting for Weapons 1 to finish before he sends these Zealots. Yeah, looks like he's going to send them momentarily. I think Day9 has enough to deal with this on the ground, but it looks like he's going to bring these Mutalisks back, actually. I think he had a Sunken Colony down. Yeah, he's going to bring these Mutalisks back to force those Zealots back, and those Zealots are, in fact, going to get taken out. Now his hand's been played, though. Not completely played, but... obviously now Deuce knows that he's facing a Mutalistic deck, trying to get that 3rd cannon up. That's also bottom time to get that Archon up, and this is that's the difference right there. Is Day9's going to have to back up off those 2 cannons, whereas if he had just produced a lot of Mutalisks at this stage, he could have kept going. But he still has map control at this stage of the game, and he's going to take this 6 o'clock location in the meantime, put down additional hatcheries, and still be in a fantastic position going into late game. Just a really good economic position. Getting it looks like the lurkers here in the meantime, so probably going to get use those. The Spire Lurker attack, Lurker Ling, maybe into Defiler here. And then just use the Overlord, the speed upgraded Overlords, to try to detect the observers on the field, pick them off with things out in the meantime. This is the problem I have with this, is the Archon's slow. And it's really not very effective at defending this entire line. It's just not a very good defense. As you can see, Zealots still get picked off because they're away from that Archon, so they have to gather up and fall back to that Archon. Looks like it can lead right here, but Day can still swing around and pick that back, and I think Deuce knows this, and he's going to have to back up. My question is will Deuce be able to cap his 3rd base, or I should say his 2nd expansion? at the mineral only. He's going to have a hard time defending that. With the basically, I feel like Day9 just has total map control. He can do whatever he wants with the map at this stage. Some zerglings coming up. Looks like they're going to try to sneak through. Going to get slaughtered. Looks like he thought those zealots and those archons were still out in the field. Now Deuce going to try to set up. That was interesting. A posture attack. He was pushing up with that archon with the zealots to be like, oh, I'm going to push up an attack to try to keep Day9 back. Day9 going to be able to pick off that probe in the meantime. As you can see, this archon just much slower than those mules. It's going to have to chase them around the map, and a lot of free hits can be scored here in the meantime by Day. All he has to do is just keep them mobile away from that Archon, and that's why, yeah, it just sucks. Level 2 weapons being upgraded in the meantime, 2 more gateways being put down, and it looks like a robotics facility and observatory, so we will have some detection for those lurkers. A lot of those lurkers already morphed. You can see additional hatcheries being put down. Day, really good drone saturation, it looks like, at basically all of his bases here. Already going to tech up the hive here at this stage at 10 minutes, and he's going to be really technologically ahead here.